Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map, and in today's video I would like to show you the new Tarot de Marseille deck that I received for a review. It is a restored version of Nicolas Converse Tarot de Marseille, and it's restored by Artisan Tarot, www.artisantarot.com. It comes with this, it's put into just a regular box, tag box. It's not like mega sturdy, but it actually feels nice in the hands. It's nice paper, nicely done, and it's good enough to keep the cards in. And it comes with two extra cards as usual. So one empty and one says Tarot de Marseille, a faithful restoration based on the tarot printed in Marseille by Nicolas Conver in 1760. If you don't know Nicolas Conver's tarot, this is like Rider-Waite-Smith of Tarot de Marseille, okay? It was one of the first mass printed decks of Tarot de Marseille, so it became like the most standardized or kind of well-known tarot, like Rider-Waite-Smith did in other system of tarot. And it's hand restored and adapted by Christine Condor with guidance from William Rader. And this is the first edition, and as you can see, this is a review deck, and it is a review deck because these decks are just gone on Kickstarter, and I think the Kickstarter campaign starts today. So if you would like to back this deck, if you are a fan of Tarot de Marseille, if you may be a collector of Tarot de Marseille decks, and so on and so forth, please just check all the links that are linked below, and they will take you to Artisan Tarot's website, and then from there you can go to the Kickstarter campaign. So they say that the project was culmination of many years of research, and they restored the majors first in 2019, then they released the first edition in 2020, and because people love this type of restoration, and they just started further refining this majors only deck, and then they created also and refined and restored the minors as well. And you can see that there is a little bit different coloring that what you are used to in this like mega traditional Tarot de Marseille. And they said that they redrew and recolored the original images, and that the goal was not to create an exact reproduction, but an elegant, refined deck that would inspire the imagination of a modern reader. So this is a complete 78 cards deck. There's 22 major arcana, of course, 56 minor, and an information card, and standard tarot card size, so it's 2.75 inches times 475 inches. I don't know if you can see, but it has that kind of linen paper that it's printed on. Maybe it's better visible here. It is quite slidey, so it belongs to one of those it slides quite, it's quite slippery, but not maybe as bad as like Supra Oracle, which didn't have any texture, so it was mega slidey. It actually shuffles amazing, so I'm just going to show you, because I love riffle shuffle. So if you love riffle shuffles, it's got a bend, you can bridge, it doesn't bend as a deck when you do that. It has a great kind of feel in the hand as well. It's really cool. So if you love shuffling, you will be loving shuffling this deck. And I think it's going to last for a long time. Look, there's totally no bend in the card, so it's really good quality. It's premium 310 GSM cardstock. And actually, the box is quite small, and the deck, of course, fits in easily. And I thought like, wow, this is quite thin, but it's so perfect. It's perfect. I don't know why we got into creating those really thick 400 GSM cardstock when we can't even, use it so well. It's long-lasting linen finish for ease of shuffling, and that's all true information. I'm just sharing some information with you from the creators. They wrote me. Sturdy, elegant tag box. And it's printed in the USA by Shuffled Ink, so that's pretty cool too. Take a look at the cards, and of course it's Tarot de Marseille, so I'm not going to like show you all the minors, but let's go through some of them so that you can get a sense of the style. It's very clean, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Edition Millennium tarot deck. Even though Edition Millennium, I think it has the sacred geometry and it has everything fit into the frame, so it's a little bit different, but the first kind of thought that came to my mind, it's clean, when I look at it, it's kind of really easy to read, easy to recognize. I like actually the colors, and the blue is a little bit more kind of towards the turquoise, and you can see that it's like really beautifully redrawn, clean line. So again, it really depends on what you like. If you prefer, the kind of messy vintage look, maybe this kind of clean redrawing won't be your favorite, but I think it's really easy to use, and if you like reading with Tarot de Marseille, I think you will definitely enjoy this edition as well. I just love this color. Yeah, this is the Nicolas Conver, mother of all Tarot de Marseille decks. Look at the Pope deck. I love the cardstock. Hello Fool, hello Emperor. How are you? I'm fine, I'm going on the adventure. Well, if I let you. Sorry guys, that wasn't even funny, I don't know what I'm doing. I guess it's too hot now in Croatia and I'm just sweating. And so here we have the moon, a little bit different, but actually in the book, I show you also a book that I got on Tarot de Marseille. I think it will go nicely with this. In this book also it says that, like in this traditional one, the crustacean was actually blue, like the water, so there was no other colors. But like, look how gorgeous that looks. And very clear. If anybody had ever issues with, deciphering what are wands and how the swords look, like you will see the swords and the wands very easy and clean to see. So really, really lovely reproduction of Nicolas Conver deck. Well done, Artisan Tarot. I really like it. And this book was sent also at some point by Marius Høgnessen, I'm not sure how to pronounce that crossed over O, but he translated Paul Marteau's book on Tarot de Marseille. And it's an interesting one. It's based on Nicolas Conver's illustrations as well, but you can see that the colors are a little bit different. There's quite a few different decks, and they're in different museums and stuff. So what you get in this book by Paul Marteau, which is really quite fascinating actually, because there's not too many books in English, and this book was printed in 2021 and available on circleandtriangle.com. The card images has been provided by the British Museum, okay? And author is Paul Marteau, and this book is an English translation of the original book in French. And I read a little bit. It just reminds me a bit of what Enrique Enriquez is teaching, but just like in very very specific things of like directionality and things like this. It also reminds me of Alejandro Jodorowsky. So I think they all, drew from this, from these old books, obviously. This is a little bit maybe closer to Jodorowsky's than anything to let Enriquez teaching, but you get for each of the figures, you get the principle and general and abstract meaning, which he goes into a lot of information about every tiny detail. And some of the details I agree with, and obviously I would pay attention to, but sometimes it's just like too much in my opinion. And I'm not criticizing Marius here, it's a translation of course, but it very reminds me of what Jodorowsky did. Like, even in his book he has this little kind of circles with different symbols which he describes. So learning that like the money representing the coin, symbol of acquisition, work to be carried out, the chalice, a symbol of love, good and bad passions or sacrifice. That's all like wonderful, but then he goes into every tiny little, like the hair of the juggler, white in its length and golden its curly ends, designates wisdom as the fruit of age and experience, you know. Yes and no, but I love Tarot de Marseille, so I'm always happy to read about this. And even if I don't agree, there's always something that I learn from these books, okay? Especially from this like traditional books. For man is able to be a master or a slave of his destiny, depending on the state of his soul. Oh, I love that. And he writes something really cute about tarot here as well. In general, I love that. Oh, the tarot is a universal vibrating instrument and becomes a source of energy through the fluidic projections of our thoughts. I thought, oh, that's lovely poetry about tarot. So that goes into every, you know, every major arcana, and then it also goes into the minors. And the minors, of course, get a little bit less, like the less information as the majors, but nevertheless quite a lot. So, for example, here we have mental, fluid, wealth. What are we talking about? Four of Swords. So that's interesting. Fluid, wealth. Animistic, safe and deep feelings, union without disturbance, physical creation, organization with great potential, allows a realization, whatever the business. Very rewarding in spiritual matters. So, you know, a different understanding to Four of Swords as we now kind of use in 2021. If the flower is directed downwards, the card indicates unease, depression, sadness, a feeling that is clouded and persisting. So, you know, I think it's fascinating that Marius actually sat down and translated this whole thing. So if you're interested, if you would like to read Paul Marteau and you don't speak French, you can do it now. And as I said, you can get the book through Marius at circleandtriangle.com. And I think if you're interested in Tarot de Marseille, it's really a fascinating thing to have and to just, you know, even as I said, if you agree or not, you can take a look. And this beautiful linen shuffling like a dream Nicolas Conver deck goes nicely with the book as well. So take a look and let me know what you think. And thank you for sending the review deck, Artisan Tarot. Good luck with your Kickstarter. You know that I love Tarot de Marseille and I will always support good reproductions of this style. And if anybody is interested, all the links are below as I mentioned, so take a look and let me know what you think. Thank you. Bye.